What's up, guys? It is your girl Zoe,
and I am Dad, aka Quest,
and this is the Zoey's Got a Dad podcast.
Check it out. If you like the shenanigans and the tomfoolery that Zoe Marie keeps up, then we're just gonna ask you to hit that subscribe button, like, share, comment in the section below, and we greatly appreciate it. And without further ado,
let's get into the video.
How about the episode?
Oh, the episode.
Bruh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, let's get into this episode. It's your boy. Peace. What up, y'all? Welcome to another edition of the Zoey's Got a Dad podcast. I am none other. Well, let me not introduce me first. Ladies and gentlemen, what's your name, girl?
It's your girl Zoe.
Yeah. And of course, it is none other than Dad, aka QG, aka Master P. You know what I'm saying? I got that P though. Is that how y'all?
No, that's not how you say it.
That ain't how you say it?
No.
How you say it?
I'm pushing P, or that's P. I'm P. That's P.
I'm P. That's P, or I'm pushing P.
I'm pushing P, yeah.
Welcome to another edition, y'all, of the Zoey's Got a Dad podcast. It's a lot going on today. Zoe took another 10 minutes on top of her 20 that she normally takes to get ready. So it was about 30. Yep. She got
but when I came to sit down, who was we waiting on?
We was waiting on you because I had to set stuff up.
Okay.
Make sure that everything was right.
When I came to sit down, he was still setting stuff up, so-called, to say. But okay.
Everything was in place though, wasn't it? See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Then you was over there once again taking your photo shoots.
While he was setting up. What? You see how you be trying to put me out here like this? Like I just be like I don't be taking it serious.
Talking about.
I was waiting on him taking videos.
Talking about the lighting was dope in here, and I need to be in here more often. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
All right. Are you glad to be here?
Yes, I'm glad to be here.
All right. So yeah, man, let's get into this thing. What's popping this week, Zoe? Give me a win this week.
Win this week?
Yeah, give me a win. A win. Give me a win. What was a win this week?
I got paid yesterday.
Oh, see, payday is always. Yeah, come on, let's give it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to, you know what I'm saying, everybody who 19 and got a job. Praise God for that. You know what I'm saying? In addition to you getting paid, what else? Let me ask you this: what's so dope about getting paid?
I don't know. It's just another paycheck where I can get myself something that I wanted.
What about saving though?
That's what I was gonna say. I mean,
okay.
That.
Okay.
And then put the rest in my savings account, of course, because we're waiting on a car.
Okay. Yes, we are waiting on a vehicle. You know what I'm saying? I think I want to start this podcast off by talking about this show that you are currently watching.
Oh, Euphoria.
Oh my gosh.
So I absolutely love Euphoria. And not because it's all drama and not because it's scandal. I mean, yes, every show has its drama, whatever. But I don't know. I think it shows the raw facts or the raw image of what goes on in high school for some teens. I don't want to say like it's for everybody, but it's definitely look into the raw life of like high schoolers and everything that they deal with.
Does it give you any enlightenment?
No.
It didn't give you any enlightenment?
I would say no, because I mean, I don't know. I'm not in high school no more, so it might have changed. Not that I'm like, I didn't just graduate last year, but
you was talking about it this week like it was the absolute bomb.
Because I'm so disappointed in Rue. For those of you who watch Euphoria and you've seen the new episode, I'm so disappointed in Rue. Like,
why are you disappointed in Rue?
Okay, so Rue is a recovering drug addict. Not only is she a recovering drug addict, she's 17. And she went to this lady. She asked her best friend, which her best friend's name is Fez or Fez. I forgot I'm pretty sure it's Fez. And she proposed this business opportunity, which we all know it's not a business opportunity. And he was like, absolutely no. And she told him, hey, all right, whatever. I'll take my business somewhere else. Oh my gosh. She took her business to the lady that basically the plug that gives Fez his drugs. And
hold up, the who?
The drugs.
No, you said the who that gives Fez?
Oh, the plug.
Zoe, what you know about the plug?
She gave Fez.
No, pause. What you know about the plug, Zoe?
I don't know anything about the plug, sir. I don't know what you're talking about.
Zoe, how you know the term plug?
You said the plug, like the outlet plug?
Bruh. No, I ain't talking about the outlet plug. You know what I'm talking about. How you know about the plug?
So we only have 30 minutes. Like I said, she went to the lady and was like, I have a business proposition, proposed her business proposition. And this lady gave her a 10,000 bag full of drugs. What do you look like giving a recovering drug addict $10,000 worth of drugs?
Yep.
And then when she opens the bag, she does, well, I haven't watched the next episode, but the last episode ended on a showing, the show was showing us that she took one of the drugs that was in there. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so disappointed in you. She was doing so good. And then boom.
So what is the lesson that you learned? And what is the stuff that you pulling from that episode? What did you pull from that episode?
I mean, what do you take all those steps forward just to go right back to square one?
Ooh. So you mean to tell me that as you are navigating through life, and you make a couple of steps forward, you can make some actions that'll cause you to fall back. So you're learning. Come on, you tell me, Zoe. Tell me what you learned, because that's heavy right there.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely certain things that you could do in life that will absolutely take you back to square one. Yes, there's little mistakes. Okay, maybe it'll set you one step back. Maybe it'll set you 2 steps back. But for you to go like straight back to square one,
like just jump out the window.
What was the point in doing all that work for?
So you went to the 3rd floor.
Yeah, you went to like the 50th floor and jumped out the window. Like,
so if you had an opportunity to share information with your friends as it relates to what you learned, what would you say?
To the show, like to take away from the show?
Yeah, I mean, like, no, I mean, what in terms of what you learned from the show, what would you impart to people or share with friends?
For Rue's specific situation, I would say, I would just tell them to think about all the things that made you get up until that point, and think about all the people that you would be disappointing. My. Before you make that decision. As teens, it's very hard for us to think before we do, which I know that was very hard for me to do at one point in time.
Hold on. Slow down, Zoe, because you just said some, let me just, that was heavy right there. You said it's very hard for us to think before we do.
Yeah, I mean,
tell me why it's difficult for you guys to think before you do.
I mean, I can really speak for myself, and some others may relate. I know that when I was younger, I was like, what? You only live once. I mean, at the time, I'm not thinking about getting in trouble or thinking about the repercussions. I'm like, man, I want to go do this. This seems like it'll be fun. And you only live once. What if I die tomorrow? And I can't say that I did that. So, I mean, I don't know.
What do you think is at the root of all of that, making decisions like that? What do you think is at the root of all of those things?
I don't know. I guess you're trying to, I know for me it was having fun or experiencing different things or.
So are you saying it's feeling then? Okay, good. What are feelings attached to or associated with?
Your emotions.
Ooh. All right, so let me take my dad hat off.
Why do I know what you're gonna say?
Yeah, what am I gonna say? Tell me.
You're going to risk a temporary feeling for a permanent. What you call? I can't remember the entire phrase.
Say it again, Zoe. I just need you to say it again.
I don't know the whole thing.
Say what you know.
You're going to risk a temporary feeling for a permanent situation.
Ooh. Yep. You're making permanent decisions based on temporary feelings.
Yeah, that.
Because I think sometimes as young people, y'all really don't like count the costs. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't, it look good, feel good, let's jump into it. And then once you jump into it and you get smacked in the mouth, you know what I'm saying? Then you're like, man, I shouldn't have done that. But here's the funny thing. Sometimes as parents, that's exactly what we do in terms of trying to get y'all to understand, like, yo, I've been down this road. Like, Zoe, like you haven't done half the stuff your father.
I was going to say, I really don't feel like I did anything that was like extremely like cost me anything that's going on right now. Okay. Not saying that I couldn't have, not saying that there wasn't anything that you did that didn't stop me, which there's plenty of things that you said and did that stopped me from making. But
there were certain instances where you would do one thing. Need I remind you? Leaving campus to go. Okay, do I need to?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When we were in high school, we was leaving campus to go look at fights and all of that foolishness.
Oh yeah, I used to skip school.
You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then not even smart enough, like to like. It's not like they got cameras everywhere.
Okay, but the school I went to, they sucked. That was the one. Okay, I'm graduated now, so I can say this.
Yes.
That was the one time they caught me out of the 30 plus times that I've skipped.
Zoe, are you kidding me right now? Are you telling me right now that you skipped school 30 something times?
I probably skipped school more than that.
Zoe.
That's what I'm saying. My school sucked. Oh, they sucked.
Okay,
they were
all
terrible.
right. So all right. So we're gonna deal with that later on, right?
Digress.
But yes, digress. Yes, I digress. But let me say, like for real, a lot of the times that you could have continued on in the direction that you were going, a lot of the times it was because I intervened. Like I just really was not about to sit back and see you. One of the things that killed me, like with you and Faith and say, is that whenever I'm reprimanding Nico and Mason, y'all come and whisper, "Daddy, they just like you." Okay, so what I'm supposed to do? Just let them go ahead and repeat all the stuff. I know that they're just like me. That's why I try to prevent them from doing some of the stuff that they do, because it's going to, garner an outcome. And so I think for you guys operate like I was saying before, you make a permanent decision based on temporary feelings. And here's the funny thing. It's that way because you guys are not counting the cost, and you're not counting the cost because you're in your feelings. So let me take off my dad hat real quick and put on my professional hat. Whenever situations happen, right? Whenever you guys experience situations, they come in through the back, under your thing right here, under your wig right here. No, I'm just playing. in your medulla oblongata. I can never say that word right. I always
medulla oblongatum.
Yeah, but see
what she say? Erykah Badu said it.
All right, so good. So it comes in there. Then it passes through, Zoe, what's called your limbic system, which is somewhere in this region of your head. And then it moves to your frontal lobe, right? Where you make all your decisions. I will go out. I will not go out. I'm going to do this thing. I'm not going to do this thing. I'm going to go this way instead of that way. Your frontal lobe is where you make all your decisions, right? So what you guys do, and truth be told, we as adults do it sometimes as well. We just, I believe, operate under a little bit more control, right? So we feel the situation long before we have an opportunity to think about it. Yes, I know that teenagers don't develop their frontal lobe until later on, but still, right? It's all about knowing to identify your feelings and not letting your feelings make a decision for you. And I think sometimes that's what you guys do. And what oh yeah, this looks good, feels good. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Geronimo, you know what I'm saying, out the door. And then you end up suffering the consequences. So from all of that stuff that you experienced, what is your take on the end result?
You want me to answer that? You really want me to? Well, because I feel like nothing like really like, I really don't feel like anything I did as a teenager was, I feel like, yes, they were major learning lessons, but I don't feel like they debilitated me in a dramatic way. So
what would have happened if you kept doing the stuff that you did?
I mean, I probably would have definitely made a decision that would put me in a position to ruin my future. But I mean, you have to, I know for me, it just came a time where I was like, I can't do this forever.
Well, see, that's just the thing though. Like, you guys don't, like I said, count the cost. You don't sit there and ask yourself, well, what'll happen if I continue hanging out with this crowd? What'll continue if I, you know what I'm saying? And you hear people say like being a product of the environment, mm-hmm. or being the sum total of your friends. That's why I'm like, yo, you got to choose who you hang around very carefully, right? You know what I'm saying? Because you hear people always say the cliches, birds of a feather flock together. There's truth to that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad though. I'm glad that, you know, as you're watching this show Euphoria, that you're getting a couple of gems here and there. You know what I'm saying? And getting exactly what you need. I'm for real. I watch TV, I think a little bit different. I think you guys watch it for well, let me not assume. Do you watch it for entertainment?
Yes, I watch it for entertainment.
Oh, okay.
But once certain things I'll see and I'll be like, oh, okay.
Yep. I would encourage you to start trying to pull out the jewels. You know what I'm saying? Or the object lessons out of those situations. Yeah, man. That's how I watch TV now. I do watch it for entertainment, but I always watch it to pull out a jewel or two. So let's move into this next segment, man. There's 4 and 1 gotta go.
So this is like TV shows. Y'all know these TV shows. It's like staple Black shows.
Okay.
All so, do I remember them? Okay. Yes, I do. The first one is The Cosby Show. Mm-hmm. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yep.
Martin, or In Living Color.
Zoe, this is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I can give you my answer right away. In Living Color. Zoe, I don't really care about In Living Color too much.
No, Zoe, you working for the enemy now, because I can't. Sorry, I just can't throw away In Living Color like that.
Nope, gotta go.
Nah,
Deuces.
You working for the enemy. You working for the enemy.
The Cosby Show.
The Cosby Show.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Martin.
And
In Living Color. I can tell y'all what his answer is. It's gonna be The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but okay.
Ooh.
I already knew your answer.
In Living Color. I ain't gonna front. I like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But if I was to watch, like, this is how I determine it. What reruns would I like deliberately watch, and which ones over which ones?
You're definitely going to watch The Cosby Show over and over and over again.
I watch it by the season.
Literally by the season. From the first season to the 15th season.
No, it's the 8th. It's 8 seasons.
He know the seasons.
It's 8 seasons in The Cosby Show. Now, and I watch it because that was the first, like, I know there's a whole bunch of stuff surrounding Bill Cosby and all of that good stuff. Okay, cool. But the actual show itself, like, showed us a depiction of who we are on TV that we had never seen before. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's why I like The Cosby Show. Like, the characters, like, I can never, Theo, you know what I'm saying? Vanessa, Rudy, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can never throw that stuff, like, I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not an episode on The Cosby Show where you could just, do you remember this? What? I remember every episode.
Right. That's
so that's a staple. That ain't going nowhere.
That's me with Martin. I could watch Martin from the first season to the fifth season.
Martin cracked me up over and over again too.
I will bust along every single time.
I like, yeah. Martin.
It's on you. So what you want to do? I'm going to rub it.
Nah, I definitely dig Martin. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Zoe. It might have to be Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I told you. I knew.
Yeah. So for everybody who might be watching YouTube, like, for real, I want y'all to comment in the section below. Which one of the 4? Because I'm interested in knowing what y'all think. Which one of the 4?
The Cosby Show, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Martin, or In Living Color.
Or In Living Color, yeah. In Living Color gotta stay. Just because I love Latifah. I love the Tootie from The Facts of Life.
Ooh,
Regine.
yes.
Regine. See, that's before your time. Facts of Life is before your time.
Oh, but I watch In Living Color.
Yeah, but In Living Color. But yeah, I used to watch her from being Tootie on The Facts of Life. But yeah, that was a dope series. But yeah, the Fresh Prince gotta go. I'm sorry to say it, but they
sorry, Will, if you see this.
All right, so we're gonna jump into real quick, Zoey, what we would call Behind the Counter Chronicles, if you will.
Behind the Counter Chronicles of Old Navy.
Yeah. So before that, let's take this quick break, and then when we come back, we'll discuss Behind the Counter Chronicles of Old Navy. Yes, indeed, and we are back. We back. So yeah, Zoey. This week, is that something that we're gonna do on a regular, like Behind the Counter Chronicles?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, because I'm sure it's a lot.
They be wilding out on Old Navy now.
So Zoey has a job, right? Praise God for the teenagers. You know what I'm saying, having a job. I just want to shout out the teenagers. You know what I'm saying, having a job. So we thankful for that. But Zoey comes home sometimes and tells these stories about what's going on at Old Navy. But I think this one this week was very special in terms of conversation. And Zoey, do you feel like you was put in that position like for a reason? Like when we talk about divine appointments.
Most definitely. I always tell one of my closest friends that I work with, her name's Destiny. Shouts out
to Destiny. Let me just shouts out my bestie real quick. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Destiny. Yep.
I always tell Destiny, some of the meaningless interactions with people are one of my favorites. I'm probably never going to see this lady ever again in my life. But to have short little conversations with people while I'm checking them out and ringing their stuff up, you'll find out the craziest stuff or have the best conversations or have the best interactions with people. So this lady comes up to me and I'm checking her out or whatever. And she's talking about her kids. And then I mentioned I had 2 little brothers. And somehow, some way, we got on the topic of divorce. And she mentioned that she's getting a divorce from her husband. And she has 3 kids. She has a 1-year-old, I think she said either a 6 or a 9-year-old, and then a 12-year-old.
Right.
And basically the conversation was, I mean, how would I go about making sure my kids are okay going through the divorce? And asking me how I felt about my parents being divorced or my parents not being together, which I was young when it happened. Yes, I still went through certain things as I grew up, but as I got older, I understood more. So I just told her the best thing you could do is talk to your children. The worst thing you could do is try to shelter them and hide them from it, because either way, they're going to start asking those questions. If not, they're going to start, if they don't start asking those questions, then that means they're internalizing it and trying to figure it out within themselves, which is definitely not what you want to do. I would bet my best piece of advice could be talk to your children, ask your children, tell them, answer their questions to the best that the oldest is 12, so it's not too much he's going to be able to comprehend, and you don't want them taking on too much, but still try and help them navigate through those feelings.
Yeah, I think that's major. First of all, I think it is kind of extraordinary that she would share with you the fact that she was getting a divorce. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think, here's the truth, though. I think you should pay attention to those things. And I think that you should pay attention to, because this is not the first time. I think I've heard you say it before that people find it easy to come and talk to you or tell you stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I think you shouldn't take those things for granted or just take them as something light. You know what I mean? For her to be able to share that with you. But what was it from your experience that you shared with her that allowed you to share with her what you shared with her? Because let's just give them the backstory. Zoey and myself and Zoey's mom got divorced when Zoe was about, 2 years old?
You asking exactly 2. I don't know.
About 2 years old. You were about 2 years old at the time. And we haven't always had the best relationship. And there were some difficulties. And when I say difficulties, I want to be careful, because when I get into public spaces and places, I try to leave my personal beliefs and thoughts with me, right? I believe that I waited until a certain age to be able to tell you what you needed to know so that you could properly process. And even those moments and times, it was still kind of difficult. So you have a close relationship with divorce. Mm-hmm. You've got a first hand experience, but what about your experience allowed you to share with her what you shared with her?
I think that because I was so young when my parents divorced, I don't really remember the divorce per se, but the following of the divorce, like as far as custody and all that other stuff, definitely. Mm-hmm. I would say that as I got older, I was unintentionally put in the middle of them two, or per se the problems pertaining me, but I was younger, so I wouldn't necessarily know how to deal with that. Mm-hmm. So at a time when I was trying to figure out, what's the issue between you guys? Why do you guys argue so much? I would hear one story from him and one story from her. So I would have to decipher what I felt like was the truth and what wasn't the truth. And I felt like that was so difficult for me because I was so young and there was so much I didn't understand.
And I think that was one of the reasons why I kind of fell back in terms of, telling you certain things, right? Because you would hear one thing from me and then hear another thing from her. And I'll be honest with you, you are at a loss when you're a father and you watching your daughter go through these different changes, as opposed, in connection with, her parents being divorced. It's a difficult thing. I know I spent a lot of time in prayer, and like, as much as I wanted to say something, couldn't say something, I had to fall back so that you could really see for yourself. And it got a whole lot worse before it got better, because I remember anytime, especially after I remarried and moved here to Charlotte, it even got worse after then, because I would hear the sentiments of, well, you moved to Charlotte. And I used to have the mindset like, I don't remember owing anybody anything in terms of staying in Atlanta. And I remember your mom having me go to the courthouse like it was a revolving door.
Oh, yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? All of those things were like really difficult. But just share a little bit about, where you were in that instance of trying to decipher what was true and what wasn't true, and what did you experience for yourself that said, okay, yep, this is what I'm seeing, and like for myself, I recognize this is what was happening, and I see this for myself. Like,
I mean, it was extremely hard because I was such a daddy's girl, but I was also like my mother's princess. I was super close with both my parents. I felt like when it came to me, my parents, there was nothing nobody could say to me about my parents. Mm-hmm. But as I got older, it just came a point where I had to be like, okay, y'all are both my parents. At this point, I really don't care what happened between y'all. Y'all are both adults. Mm-hmm. Y'all both had a kid together. Mm-hmm. And there needs to be some middle ground. Mm-hmm. And it just came to a point once I saw there was no middle ground. I was just like, all right, forget it. I really don't even care what y'all talk about anymore. I mean, when I'm with him, I'm with him. And when I'm with you, I'm with you. I don't want to hear nothing else about it.
Right. So what was the thing that allowed you to see that there was no middle ground?
The fact that like there was an argument with everything. Mm-hmm. Like,
yep.
My best advice to divorced parents with kids, especially if you only have one child together, show them what a healthy relationship looks like a healthy co-parenting relationship at that. Yep. Okay, cool. Things happen. People outgrow each other. Okay, cool. But for you to have a child together and show them a certain environment, my best advice would be like, show them what a healthy relationship looks like, whether it be a friendship, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a co-parent relationship, whatever you want to call it. Show them what that looks like. Like, okay, it's okay to not like somebody no more. It's okay to not love nobody no more. It's okay to not want to be in that intimate relationship anymore. But you guys have a child together, a full-blown human being, like that you have to raise, and they have to grow up and go out into the real world. They need to see what that looks like.
So let me ask you this, because I get it. I get the co-parenting, right? What happens, or what is your take on when one parent wants to co-parent, the other one says they want to co-parent, but they use controlling tactics in order to get what they want out of the relationship, or somebody ends up attempting to manipulate the other parent in that situation? Then what?
For me, I know that's
because that's something that happens, and we've seen it. It's funny. I'm a fan of Chicago Fire, right? I started watching Chicago Med, and then I got addicted to Chicago Fire, right? And what I realized is that, in one episode, I saw that the woman was married to one person. They had a baby together and fell back in love with the person that she was dating before she got married to this person. And so she ended up having to break up because although they were not together, the father was trying to claim full custody, and it looked like he was going to win. And rather than there be any trouble because he was moving to New York, she decided to move to New York and be in the same place so that they could co-parent the baby. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was going to say. Sometimes you have to make those hard decisions when your partner's being difficult. Like, it just comes to a point where you're going to be like, it is what it is, and I have to do what I have to do to show that I'm there for my child.
But what happens in situations, though, where it legit can cause you to lose even to your freedoms, though?
You asking the wrong one.
Okay,
I don't know.
But that's the thing that I'm saying, and those are the things that there are a lot of parents that are dealing with. Like, one parent may legit be using the other parent to get exactly what they want. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether it be monetarily or whatever the case may be. I've even seen it to the point where parents, like for real, use the court system as a weapon, use the child as a weapon. And the child is just caught in the middle. And the person on the other side of the fence is like, yo, do I choose between my child and my freedom? If I choose my child and I lose my freedom, then I ain't no good to the child no way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or what happens if I just give? I've noticed something about takers and givers, right? In any relationship. And I've come to realize the importance of giving, right? Now, we are Bible believing, you know what I'm saying? We Christians, or we try to be as much as Christian as we possibly can be, right? And I do remember the word saying, give, and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, running over with good measure. But the initiating, how you initiate that whole dynamic is you give first, right? You give, and then it'll be given back to you. And I think that's a large portion of why families, even after divorce, run into those kind of problems, because they don't want to give. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so what I was saying before is that there are givers and there are takers. The difference between givers and takers is that givers will give and give and give and give and give until they have nothing left to give. Here's the funny thing about takers. Takers will take and take and take and take and take until they suck you dry, right? Or leave you destitute. You know what I'm saying? And so with that being said, there has to be boundaries put in place in order to achieve, you know what I'm saying, some level of balance. Because if you don't, like for real, you can legit put yourself in a serious problem. I think my question is now, like, what are your sentiments for that lady that you spoke to at Old Navy? Like, what is your prayer for her? Like, what is your hope and your prayer for her?
Well, I know the last thing that she said to me was that she doesn't want to mess up her children. And I know that's like a huge thing for parents, let alone parents going through divorce. So my heart really goes out to her children foremost, because it's really hard to have parents and you're young and you have such big emotions in such a little body and you're trying to figure out, why can't my parents, get it together? So I just pray that they figure out a situation that works for the both of them and that there's no difficulty in their co-parenting. Okay, I feel like it's bound to be difficulty because, you're getting a divorce, you have children, you're trying to figure out child support, you're trying to figure out visitation, you're trying to figure out custody, all that. So
okay, I
pray that they figure out a healthy situation for everybody.
It's funny because when I hear you speak, you never speak from the perspective of what the father or the mother is speaking. You always speak from the perspective of the child. Is that because?
Oh, because I was a child going through divorce. I've never been a parent. I've never been divorced. I've never been married. Right. So I don't know how it feels as to be parents to get divorced. I know how it feels to be a child of divorce.
Right. So let me ask you this then as well. And I'll make it real personal.
Okay.
Do you think that we are doing in this season of life everything that we? Let me rephrase that. I want to speak directly to our relationship. Do you think that I am? And don't tell me what I want to hear, but do you think that I, as a father, am doing everything that I need to be doing in terms of fostering good relationship between you and I?
Most definitely.
Oh, okay.
Most definitely.
Do you think that it is doing its job in repairing any deficiencies that we may have experienced, from you being a little girl growing up till now?
Yeah, because we wouldn't be sitting here doing this podcast if it wasn't.
Okay, good. There's something else that I wanted to ask you, and it left me. It'll come back in a minute. But where are you in terms of your mother and I not necessarily, having a quote unquote relationship?
I mean, now because I'm 19, in the eyes of the state, I'm an adult.
Yeah.
But now because I'm 19, I don't even care, to be honest. I mean, I hate to say that because y'all are my parents, but I mean,
right.
I don't really expect nothing too much now.
And I'll be honest with you in saying that it was never a situation that I didn't want to have a parenting relationship with your mom. There were just some things that I saw as an individual that was not in my best interest to be a part of. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I'm sorry that you have to experience that as a daughter, but I'm going to do my very best in making sure that you get everything that you need so that you can flourish and grow and be the best adult and citizen that you possibly can be. For real, put you in position so that you can live your best life. And I think that's important to really say that. Because a lot of the times, let's keep it 100. You ain't going to agree with the stuff that your daddy does.
Good.
I'm just telling you, you're not going to agree a lot with what I do. You're not going to agree a lot of the times with what I'm saying, but I'm very forward thinking when it comes to you and it comes to Nico and it comes to Mason. And I've experienced enough loss in my life. I can tell you a whole lot more about what not to do than what to do. And I've realized that if you know what not to do, what to do kind of works itself out, right? Mm-hmm. Of course, I'm going to make sure you guys get the information you need in order to make the best decisions possible. But yeah, I'm going to keep you from stuff whether you like it or not either. And I know sometimes that's going to raise the buck, but hey, that's a price we're going to have to pay. And I will live.
Hey, I'm 19 now.
Hey,
it ain't going to be too much more compromisation if that's how you say it on a few things.
Yeah, well.
I mean, as long as I'm living in his house.
Oh, okay.
I'll say that because I know that's what he's going to say.
All right, as long as
I'm living in his house.
As long
we may joke and play. I say I'm going to be here till 35, but that's a whole lie in itself. I'll tell you that right now. I'll stay with you as long as I can, but
Yep. But that's the whole purpose, Zoe, is for one day that you leave this house, that you can be in position to properly choose a mate for yourself so that you never have to, and I feel weird saying that. I don't know why I feel weird saying that, but I mean, that it really is the idea for one day that you can properly choose a mate that you can do life with and not around, such that you never have to experience anything that, you know what I'm saying, me and your mother experienced. And I think that's really one of my greatest goals at the end of the day, to live to see you married one day and the years go by. And not to say that y'all never won't have difficulty or challenge, but how you face and respond to the difficulty and challenge based upon how we did what we did here and now. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Anything you want to say to the peeps before we get out of here?
I'm pushing P.
You pushing some people. That's it. You pushing P.
I'm pushing P.
Oh my gosh. Well, man, let me say this. Divorce is not an easy thing, and not only does it destroy homes and destroy, like for real, the sentiments and feelings and emotions of the people involved. It destroys onlookers as well, even down to the children, if you have them, you know what I'm saying, who are experiencing divorce. Because, like for real, at the end of the day, Zoey just said it. There was a point where you were trying to mix down emotions that you had not yet mastered. And a lot of people are even onlookers who are saying, yo, if it don't work out for them, then how in heaven's name is it going to work out for me? You know what I'm saying? For those who are looking towards it. So, man, so I ain't gonna front, man. I really enjoyed this conversation with you today. Like for real. And man, y'all already know, like I say on the other one, from shaky to good, from good to great, ultimately what we want is phenomenal relationships, especially with our children. You know what I'm saying? But that takes work. So let's do that work. And we'll see y'all on the next episode of
Zoey's Got a Dad podcast.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I'll see y'all later. Peace.